This girl, who goes by the name Fowler Sheriff, has allegedly stabbed her friend multiple times in Pineville City on her back, chest, and legs after they got into a heated argument that led to both parties massively insulting each other. This sad incident took place on Decoration Day, March 14, to be precise. This is why you should not be fast to assume for another person, because your assumption might be wrong in some instances. That is what happened to Fowler, who stabbed her friend multiple times. Neighbors describe Fowler and Tracy as best of friends who did everything in common, even when it comes to cooking, going at the market, going to beaches, going to entertainment center. They were all spotted together. It even came a time when Tracy had a birthday party. Fowler was the one doing everything in order to make the day successful. And definitely it was successful for Tracy. I think this was one instance of the term devil are basic, because how will two persons be close and all of a sudden things go wrong? Eventually, this was what actually happens that day. Before I continue this story, I want to send a big shout out to my mom and dad, Mr. and Mrs. Dan, as they celebrated their 9 years wedding anniversary on Wednesday, which was March 14. Spending 9 years together after marriage without a single day of divorce is not an easy task. So I want to appreciate God the Almighty for making things done. Let's get back into the story. They went out to stress-free themselves that day. Probably they just finished decorating their family members or relative grave, or literally they were home whole day and decided to go out in the evening hour to chill. When they reached at the entertainment center, which is identified as Rose Bar, where people normally visited at weekend time, they met their friends and they shook hands and sat along with them. You know, whenever you go to an entertainment center or a public gathering where you spot your friend and your friend also have an empty space beside them or a gap, definitely you might be the one to fill the gap in order for you guys to continue your lectures. When they sat down, they started to crack joke and lecture. And things were also going fine because, you know, it was an holiday, a Decoration Day. Other people were buying and people were pulling in and pulling out. After a few minutes, one of their boyfriend decided to surprise everyone on the table with a drink. But unfortunately for him, he had insufficient bottles. That is how he bought drinks for few people, and Tracy and one of their friends that they met on the table left out. I don't know if this was a joke or it was personal, but Fowler made a statement saying, "Nobody will buy you guys liquor. We all are doing the same thing." So maybe it is a slang that both of them understand. And according to our witnesses, after that slang, they got into a little argument, calling and putting talks. Like you send talk and then your friend also reply just like that. They left on it for a few minutes. But being very mature, they later stopped it and decided to move on. Tracy now took one of the empty bottles from the table and visited the bar in order to buy the same type of liquor that one of their friend's fiancé bought before. But when Tracy took the empty bottle, Fowler's attention was not on her. In other words, she did not see her. Tracy now visited the bar and ordered 15 United States dollars worth drinks. But while on her way back with the empty bottles that she previously took from the table, Tracy saw her and immediately assumed that she was coming to attack her because of the little argument they had before. So she jumped up and decided to blow her friend. And Tracy fell. That is how Fowler got on top and started to beat her massively. At a certain point, Fowler took the bottle from Tracy and then cracked it on the floor and eventually started to stab her friend multiple times. Eyewitnesses stated that the zeal Fowler got up with was not normal. It seemed as if something was surely working in her. After stabbing her friend, when she came to herself, she got confused and started to act somehow. But it was late because she has massively injured her friend. Friends and eyewitnesses took Tracy to the nearby hospital, which was Benson Hospital, and decided to hand over Fowler to the nearby police station. According to sources, Fowler is coming on a bit okay, but she is still feeling a massive pain. So this is the story. Kindly follow for more and share this video.